I did not put like anything in this. Yeah.
You get a little refill in there.
Yeah, I just like I'm always like every time I try to fill it up, it spills over because I can't see how much is in it. I did have a glass one where you could see inside how much like was left, but then that broke. Like,
I thought you were gonna say every time I fill it up, it just gets empty again. I don't know what's going on. This is weird. It's so weird.
Strange phenomenon.
I think we need to call some science people over here. What's going on?
I called the manufacturer, but they said
it's like, yeah, that's what happened.
they said that they try to accuse me of drinking it. And I'm just like.
Hello, you beautiful nerds. I'm Jedi Master Grayson.
And I'm your favorite cousin's favorite cousin, Bill.
And welcome to Does It Help? The show where we revisit classic genre films to see if they're as good or as bad as we remember.
And we sometimes, but not always, get drunk while we do it.
Yes, that's true.
Drink responsibly.
Yes, and we are joined by a special guest to help us determine if this film stands the test of time. He is, you can find him on the Nerds at Night channel. He's a lover and a fighter, and he's the funniest guy I know. Besides myself, sorry,
he's the jalapeno in your sandwich.
He's
the jalapeno in your sandwich. He's the dust that gets in your water.
What is up, Money Blakeweather? How you doing, buddy?
That's good. I feel a little thrown off. I was here for the virtual karaoke. I think I might be in the wrong place, but
might hit the
wrong link.
Might hit the wrong link.
I'm here,
but
since I'm here, cheers, fellas. Cheers. Thanks for
cheers.
Allow me to hang out, I guess. You know.
Yeah, man.
Well, hopefully you have seen our topic of discussion pretty recently, even though you stumbled in here.
You just stumbled in here to the chat room. Remember in the back in the day, you stumble in the chat room.
Yeah.
I was in the wrong Yahoo instant message chat room, you know?
Yeah, and then the old men pop in there and they're like, "Hey, take off, show me your dick."
It's like, this isn't where I park my
it's
car.
Like, hey, how old are you? Oh, I'm 15. Hey, I'm 15 too. Show me your dick.
That's
like, what?
That must be on paper, boy. That's some good news. Yeah.
If you're 60 years old, that's what your kids was having to deal with. They just didn't tell you.
Yeah, surprise! Your child is traumatized. Well, he's an adult now and he's getting afford therapy, so it's fine.
Right,
but
and that's why he watches stepdad porn.
This explains a lot, actually. Right now, I'm glad I stayed around for this.
Should I hit the X-Files button right there?
But Bill, what are we talking about today?
Oh exactly? Man, jeez, I forgot. We're talking about the 1988 spoof action comedy I'm Gonna Get You Sucka, written and directed and starring Keenan Ivory Wayans, but also this movie was Eddie Murphy's idea.
Oh yeah, we'll actually get into that because
I'm just not gonna sit here and not give him no credit at the beginning. Give him the man his credit, Alex.
It's very interesting because we did talk about this a little bit in our last episode of Does It Hold Up, Meteor Man. How
sorry,
they how there was this group called the Black Pack. They included Keenan Ivory Wayans, Eddie Murphy, Robert Townsend, and a few other black comedians in that space in like the early
Black
80s,
Pack.
mid to late 80s that just like all kind of found each other at the same time while they were just like starting to blow up. So that was very interesting. We'll get into some more Robert Townsend, Eddie Murphy shit later on. For
found themselves at the same
time.
Found each other.
Black and Milds. That's what I used to call it, the Black Pack, right there. Yeah,
that's the Black Pack.
I think it's funny that you said that they all found each other. It's like there was only like one black comedy club, so they didn't know. It's like two in the whole country. It's like, oh, we found each other. This is the only place we could go.
Yeah. It was a 50-50 shot, and I got it.
So Blake, since before we get into the nitty and the gritty, you want to tell people how you felt the first time you watched I'm Gonna Get You Sucka?
I had to think about this today because I will say, it was much like I start off every time when I come in to do karaoke, I have very fond memories about this movie. Because I do have very fond memories about this movie, and I think I was exposed to this movie. I say it like it's some CP stuff going on, but it wasn't bad. I got exposed to this though. I think I'd already seen Don't Be a Menace. I had already seen Scary Movie, so maybe I was in 6th grade, 7th grade, and my stepdad, connoisseur of movies, who put me onto all kind of movies.
Most of them doesn't hold up.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Harlem Nights, right? That's a big one. He was like, dude, you got to watch I'm Gonna Get You Sucka. And he kept quoting the damn line that, let me get one rib. And I never knew what the shit he was talking about, right? I'm sure we'll get to there. But every time he would say, when we'd go out for barbie, he was like, let me get one rib. And then he would laugh. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, guy? But after watching the movie, I definitely got what he was talking about. And I very much enjoyed this. I think I also I would rent it when friends would come over to be like, bro, if you like Scary Movie and you like Don't Be a Menace, all my little white friends where their parents wouldn't let them watch movies, they'd come over and we'd come watch like the good movies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's funny I say that, and the movies that the parents didn't allow were a lot of black movies. So there might be racism going on in their life, and not in mine though. Not in mine. I was very pro black, and we found out, I think, in the last year why I'm 2% black. So that's why it felt appropriate to bring me on probably for this episode. But yeah, all that to say, very fond memories. I laughed so much, and every time I watch it, I find something new to laugh at. But it's a silly movie. Like, if you're a kid, there's so many little bits and skits that, like, even if lines go over your head, like the what do they call it? Like the slapstick humor and the silly nature of it all. I mean, you're in for a good time, let me tell you. It's like watching an adult Looney Tunes, you know. That's sort of, and it's similar with like Don't Be a Menace, right? Like there's sort of like this is adult Looney Tunes, right? Like there's all these little bits and, you know, this like things that are, you know, extreme humor where it's like, that couldn't possibly, the guy would be dead, but it's not, you know, it's not real. It's just silly. So yeah, have a lot of great memories, a lot of good laughs, and yeah, again, I'm very excited to have stumbled across this chat room to come talk about this movie.
Yeah, it is funny.
Welcome to the world of blacksploitation. That's not a song. I just made that up. You know what I mean?
No, that's a real song. That's on my Spotify.
Boss nigga. You know?
Just saying.
I'm just saying blaxploitation movies.
Yeah.
The Black Godfather.
Superfly.
Jackie Brown.
Coffee featuring Pam Grier. What was your thoughts when the first time you saw this movie, Bill?
Oh, nigga, gather around. Let me tell you. By the way, every time I just listened to the last Does It Hold Up, and it just sounded like Blake was just saying the same thing that he said last time. I was like, is he talking about, does he have this written down? Does he say this every time? I'm gonna have to go back and check. Like, is he saying this every
Check the
time?
game tape. Check the game tape. It's a little different. It's you got to do what gets you to the dance. You know what I mean? You got to do it.
He said his uncle said you gotta check out. It
was my stepdad at the time. My stepdad. Yeah.
At the time. My stepdad at the time. That's what he says.
He not my stepdad.
He says that every single time. I'm telling you. But let's go.
Yeah, what did you think of this movie?
The first time I've seen the movie, I think it was on WTCO 21. And it's wholesome enough. If you know what I'm saying, there's some bad curse words in there, but this is an easy TV movie. You know what I'm saying? Put it on TV. Like, it's a movie that is well received in our family, in our household. Excuse me, I have the hiccups.
Oh, that's so good.
Just edit that out. No, I'm joking. It was well received in our family, but we never like owned it, you know. So never like saw it when it came out, but I really liked it. My mom was like, I'm gonna get you sucker. And so we watched it while folding clothes because children are just free slaves till they turn 18. They just do stuff for you for free.
Child labor laws do not exist at home. That's
exactly.
what I've learned.
Yep.
But
right. So yeah,
but you enjoyed it when you were younger.
I enjoyed it. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I just felt like it was a lot of stuff that went over my head as a kid. But yeah, it was funny. It was just, you
said that you watched it while you were folding clothes. Let's play a clip of that right now, actually.
Okay, actually, yeah, let me play a clip of that real quick.
Yes, thank you. Oh, our nips just touched. Mine are so hard.
Mine are different sizes.
I'm glad you brought that up because I've completely forgot that I had that clip of him actually folding clothes while watching this movie when we were kids. So
you're gonna make my mustache fall off. Don't do that.
For all you listeners out there, just listen. I do apologize, but you can complain at the Drunk Banthas channel at gmail.com. That's the Drunk Banthas channel at gmail.com.
Yes, send us your hate mail. We always appreciate it.
Honestly. Oh man. How'd you feel?
Yeah, how'd you feel?
Well, Blake, you mentioned that you had very fond memories of this movie. I had very vague memories of this movie. Like it's just like sort of always just been sort of a peripheral memory. Like I don't even remember.
You did this. This is funny. It's sort of always
just put my hand up.
No, you did this, and I was just like, is that like a door opening and closing? Is that
I was
like
just about to do my single ladies dance?
No, I'm just like, is that his brain like forgetting and then remembering? Is this like it coming in and out?
I thought that was sign language for like I keep vaguely, and I was like, I just learned something new. Right?
Exactly. Yeah. I thought I was learning something too. Barely not.
But no, I definitely had just like a vague memory of this movie, like more so than other Keenen Ivory Wayans films. So I remember like sort of enjoying it, but I honestly I had pretty much no memory of like plots, jokes, or anything like that. Of the just like basically aesthetics until a few years ago when I rewatched it, and then again when we rewatched it today for this episode. So I'm excited to get into it.
You're a hater
because I don't remember. Yeah, I
don't make up the rules.
If you forget something, you hate it.
I don't make up the rules.
Remember that, kids.
Yeah, in the previous chat room I was in, that was a rule. So I had to leave. I had to leave that chat room. Come to this one, That's how I went.
I do want, since we were talking about how we felt when we first saw it, I do want to take us back in time. I'm gonna try to do this segment for every Does It Hold Up. But if it doesn't happen, hey, it's Black History Month. This is when you get the special shit. Okay.
This is like you trying to make fetch happen. We're trying to make fetch happen right now, aren't we?
Exactly. We're making it happen right now. But yeah, I want to play what the old school. See, we're the Black Siskel and Ebert. This guy, me. Then there's for you young kids, there was white Siskel and Ebert back in the day. Yeah. And let's just find out in our little back in time segment what the gods of critics said about this movie.
Our next picture is called I'm Gonna Get You Sucka, which tries to parody the old blaxploitation films of the 1970s.
Thumbs down for me. It doesn't have anything new to say about the blaxploitation genre, and basically it's offensive from beginning to end.
I don't find it offensive at all. But
they're having
fun with the stereotypes.
What great fun.
I mean,
what great fun making fun of a race of people. But
when I'm laughing, you can't tell me it isn't funny. And when you're not laughing, it's very hard for me to tell you
you're laughing. I can tell you it's not funny, but you're laughing. That's what I can tell you.
So got pretty heated talking about this.
Wow.
That's what we used to sound like before everybody started joining us. It used to just be back and forth of 15 minutes of just arguing about one thing. It's like, well, let's get back to the show.
Just to add to that, Roger Ebert said in the Chicago Sun-Times in the article that he wrote about the movie, a comedy that feeds off the blaxploitation movie, and although like all good satires, it is cheerfully willing to be offensive, it is almost completely incapable of being funny. So at least he did give it some props for being like, I'm gonna like, it's comedically brave. It's not like trying to, and it's like other satires, like all good satires are not afraid of pushing the envelope. But he, in his opinion, it wasn't funny. But
he was just, I guarantee, he was dating Oprah back then.
Yeah,
I guarantee you, Oprah was like, "You better kill that, or I ain't sucking that pee-pee." I guarantee you, that's what happened.
Possibly, like, yeah, he might have gotten into an argument with his black girlfriend. He's like, I can't ride for this movie on television.
I bet you he came home and was like, "This movie is so funny," and she's like, "I watched it the other day, and it is not funny." He's like, "No, you're right. It's not funny. I don't even like this. I don't even know Keenan Ivory. Who? What?"
They went and saw it together and came out. He's like, "No, yes, I agree with you."
And you know what? Let's talk about the reception.
That's actually the reason they broke up. You didn't say it vociferously enough.
on his deathbed in his will, he wrote like, "I'm gonna get you sucker." It's actually really funny. Y'all should watch it. There's an article about that. Let's cut to a clip real quick.
I love that. His last words, "I'm gonna get you sucker." It's pretty good.
That's not good enough.
But you know what? Let's talk about the reception a little bit since you brought it up. On Rotten Tomatoes currently it has a 62% critics rating and a 71% audience rating.
Is that bad?
It's not good. It's definitely not a passing grade. You will definitely have to go to summer school if you have a 62%. But yeah, I mean, it does seem like audiences mostly really enjoyed it. Apparently the film opened to rave responses from the black community who felt the film captured the era of blaxploitation films from the 1970s. Black audience members were thrilled to attend the screening of a movie filled with black actors about the black film genre, and critics also noted that Keenan Ivory Wayans was able to satirically capture the trope of the quote unquote buck in blaxploitation film.
That is the white super racist term.
Yes, the white man's notion of the all-powerful, brutal black man
who will rape and take and rape your wife,
right?
Your white wife.
And yeah, it seems like even some critics, or at least black critics, they seem like they like understood what the film was trying to say, even though it's like an inherently silly movie, like Naked Gun or any of these other Zucker Brothers movies. It does seem like there was just a little bit more there that he was trying to say about the representation of black people during the 70s. And yeah, it had some pretty steep competition this week. This is the weekend that
Ernest Saves Christmas. You better get out of here.
Oh man, yeah. Ernest Saves Christmas, Child's Play,
also made by the same.
The Land Before Time. Let's just talk about that movie for the rest of the time.
Let's just sit down. Yeah, let's sit down and just talk about that.
Little Fun. Oh, Twins only in its second week, and Rain Man in its first week. God damn,
good movies.
And Naked Gun,
not a good movie. Not a good movie.
I mean, I like some of the.
I like Leslie Nielsen.
But did you like that one?
Actually, I don't remember which one that one is.
Bad one.
Yeah, part 2 is not the best. First one's great. Third one even better, I think. But the second one is kind of forgotten about.
Scrooged. I'm fucking with Scrooged.
Scrooge is okay. I honestly, I'm not a huge fan of Scrooge.
Oliver and Company, for those who are Billy Joel fans,
made some money.
He plays the little dog that leads. It's like a twist on Oliver Twist, but Oliver and Company. They all singing Stray Dogs. That's what they are.
Great movie. It apparently didn't make as much money as like I thought it did. Like it wasn't as popular as I always assumed it was. Yeah, it only ended up making $22 million. Like
Streets.
New York City. We see down.
Why should I worry?
Why should I care? Yep.
Yeah.
We see that I'm Gonna Get You Sucka is all the way down at the unlucky number 13.
Sing it, baby, sing it.
They had no chance.
Had no chance against that.
This had no chance.
I will say this to the credit of I'm Gonna Get You Sucka. I was watching today. It's like a 5-minute clip of Keenan Ivory Wayans being interviewed talking about this movie, and him basically saying that the production of the movie wasn't supposed to be released. They only released it because of obligation. When they released it, it was only into like 5 big cities. Neither one of them was New York or LA. They wouldn't. And then when it started making a little bit of money, I think he said like once it made like $1 million, like all of a sudden they were like the company was like, well, I guess let's try New York. And then they did in New York. It made like another $1 million. Like it was like a slow burn because the production company was basically like, we don't have faith in this movie. And yeah, I mean, to him, he was basically like, they just didn't want black cinema to like be a thing. And it hadn't been a thing. And I felt like I was doing a good thing. And so, yeah, that could, what we're seeing right now, I think sort of is a testament to the story that Keenan Ivory Wayans tells, where it's sort of sabotage from the get-go. Yeah. Up until the time of where, comes out to, VHS at the time. And then sort of, it's one of those things where it sort of takes off, so.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting how this movie had sort of 3 lives where it, like you said, it like they had the small release. I think it was December of 1988, and then after it picked up a little steam, they had another re-release in January, or a wider release in January of 1989. And then, yeah, like you said, like with the VHS release, like it just has a third life where it just gets even more popular and more like a cult hit. And I want to talk about, because I do want to talk about the actors and the story and everything. But before we get into all that, let's talk about Keenan Ivory Wayans for a little bit. Can we
I
just
thought
talk
we had
about
an ad drop coming.
friend of the show, friend of the show, right?
Oh yeah, friend of the show. Always, he watches every episode.
I thought you were going to say. Let's talk about the Drunk Panthers podcast. I was like, oh, here we go. Okay. Very nice.
Nah. Yeah, you guys know that comes out every Monday at 8 p.m. Pacific time. But let's talk about Keenan Ivory Wayans, who was born in Harlem, New York City. He dropped out of high school to focus on comedy. During his first set performing at the Improv in New York, Wayans met Robert Townsend, who helped him learn about the comedy business. Townsend. Yeah, like you said, like they're probably the only black
people in the class.
It's like, oh,
when they saw each other, they were like this.
He said it was his first set, so like Townsend was probably there every single night. It's like there's got to be a nigga who's gonna come in here sometime.
One day,
a prophecy is told. Prophecy is told about Keenan Ivory Wayans. One day there will be a man with many brothers and sisters.
Lisa Nagaib.
No, you mean nigga outside Nagaib.
You said it, I didn't. I just want that.
Negro Asalib. We gotta workshop that. We can find
Negro Asalib. That's me.
He was the chosen one, though. I think that's what we're getting at.
Made my blunt chip and shatter.
Townsend and Wayans drove to Los Angeles together when Wayans moved to Los Angeles in 1980. Wayans worked there as an actor. He had a regular role as a soldier on this television series called Love and Honor. He also was on Hill Street Blues as a football player. Small wonder. But then Townsend wrote and directed and starred in the movie Hollywood Shuffle, which Wayans was a co-star and a co-writer. The movie's success allowed him to raise money to make I'm Gonna Get You Sucka. Fox Broadcasting Company then approached Wayans to offer him his own TV show, and Wayans wanted to produce a variety show similar to Saturday Night Live with a cast of people of color that took chances with its content. This would turn into the widely successful sketch comedy series In Living Color. What song are you even? Is that the? Oh, okay. That's the Living Color theme.
Yeah. You can do what you want.
He went on to direct, write, and produce 5.
Everybody here is equally kind.
He went on to write, and produce several films, including Eddie Murphy, Raw, The 5 Heartbeats, Scary Movie, White Chicks, and my personal favorite, Don't Be a Menace to South Central While Drinking Your Juice in the Hood. Many of these would include his superstar comedy family. He's incredible. He's like black royalty in Hollywood. It's kind of amazing.
Ain't no light. He might be the king in black royalty, really.
Let's go ahead and get into
drop a clip.
The plots of the movie. I'll set up this clip with a brief
Set it up.
synopsis of the plot. In this parody blaxploitation movie, this parody of blaxploitation movies, a black hero wannabe reunites former black heroes from the 70s to help him get revenge on the evil Mr. Big. This is kind
Mr.
of all
Big,
set
Mr.
in motion
Big. They call me Mr. Big.
after the death of Jack Spade's brother. Here's a clip of that.
Cause of death looks like OG.
Over gold, yeah?
Jesus Christ.
I just want to point out that this scene is very much so. Actually, a lot of this movie was the inspiration for a lot of the scenes that are in Black Dynamite.
Yeah.
This is exactly how the beginning of Black Dynamite starts, and this is how this movie starts. But go ahead, Blake.
I have a question for both of y'all. How do you think he went to the bathroom with all that on?
A question that this film failed to posit, and I'm very.
It's
mad
like
at
the
it.
shells in Demolition Man.
A little inside joke. Yeah. He's like, you don't know how to use the 3 shells.
Yeah, come on, man. How am I supposed to use them to this day? Treacherous fiend.
So right off the bat, this movie is being like just hyper realistic, like super silly. What did you guys think about the tone of this film? Because this is Keenan's first bite at the apples, his first directing gig, and he kind of ends up being known for these spoof type films.
It's kind of his second bite. I mean, first bite of the apple. It's more like his second because he was really involved in Hollywood Shuffle.
Yeah.
I mean, like he's basically the other director. Him and Robert Townsend worked together. In a tandem, like writing the script and going back and forth. Like, yeah, they made that shit happen together. So I would say, and he produced or helped produce Raw.
Yeah.
So I will say he was perfectly set up, like he had been perfectly groomed to be in this position. He had prepared himself. He had done enough things, like what they say. Sharpened his teeth.
Yeah.
He was ready. He was ready for this. So
he's in fighting shape.
Yeah. I think he was you just need some that just it goes to show you just need an opportunity,
Yeah.
Some people just need an opportunity. And that's what probably is wrong with Hollywood these days. Is not enough opportunities being given to young directors and young writers that are out there.
I think there's a song that best encapsulates this, and I think the lyrics are something some people wait a lifetime for a moment like this. And I think that
some people wait forever.
Some people wait forever. Yeah, exactly. He got his chance. There it is. I was waiting for it. I'm like, this is a ticking time bomb. It'll pay off. Don't worry about it.
I mean, I can't believe what's happening to me.
Yeah, no, he big swing, and knocked it out of the park. It's just so goofy. It's again, it's adult Looney Tunes. Like it's like if a kid grew up as an adult and was like, "Hey, I like silly stuff. This is gonna be good." But there's not silly stuff around me. Let me create this sort of playground in a movie and just throw in all these silly antics with it's cartoons that cuss, basically. Like that's what we're watching, and it's so great.
That's a t-shirt. Cartoons that cuss.
Yeah, this is Adult Swim vibes. Let's talk about the performances. We can get into your favorite segment. Who's the MVP of this movie?
Oh, Alex.
Because there's a lot of really great.
Well, Alex, since you asked, who is your MVP of this movie?
My MVP. Oh gosh, I mean, there's a lot of really great actors in this one, but I have to give it to Bernie Casey as John Slade, because that nigga was so hilarious.
But Blake, who is your MVP of this movie?
Man, you kind of took mine. That was good. There's so many MVPs because
same MVP.
there's so many moments in this movie that stick out to me. again, the one that let me get one rib, right? Like Jim Brown is just is hilarious. He's in the back. He's like, one rib. What? Him and Isaac Hayes, like together, that chemistry is it's so great. Another one that kind of came to mind for MVP, but he's just not in it enough, was the guy that has the white children. Because that whole speech is hilarious when he's like, swine, right? When the little kid it's hilarious. So I'm like, man, that guy, but he also played Samson in Half Baked, right? Like he's a great actor.
Yeah. Do you mind if I actually play a quick clip of him real quick?
Let's cut to a clip.
I can't stand what's happening in this community. Yes. Yeah, and somebody has to make a change. Yes. Now, brother, will you help me? Yes. Well.
Well, I don't know.
Oh yeah. But I think my MVP is gonna go to Kung Fu Joe. He is a soldier through and through.
Oh.
So, just you 57 punks against Kung Fu Joe, master of karate, jujitsu, and all other shit you ain't never heard of.
That bit gets me, and then the one where he's trying to call, and it cuts to the guy's like, "Ha, gotcha. I'm not in."
It reminds me of Archer.
That is an Archer bit. That is the Archer bit.
So good.
Hey, that goes with my theory that Keenan Ivory Wayans has contributed to what modern comedy on television is.
Yeah, like this is a very influential movie. Not even just like there's definitely a lot of parallels with Black Dynamite, especially since it's also a spoof comedy.
The scene where the dude's in the hat, like in the dude's big ass.
That just shot. Right now. He got shot.
He got shot. There's the donut in Black Dynamite. Dude's dressed as a donut.
Yeah,
and he's got an AK. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, there are like a lot of funny one-to-one moments like that. But it's just like an influential movie in comedy in general. Just like this silly ass type of comedy. There's even and just to move talk about the story a little bit. There. Wait, you didn't say your MVP, did you?
Yeah, who's your MVP?
I didn't. I was letting you talk a little bit more because my MVP, we need to use another video for him, even if we need to use it later. But my MVP.
Name of this piece is called "My Bitch Better Have My Money." My bitch better have my money through rain, sleet, or snow.
It was a Shakespeare. I tell you, that boy's a genius. Tell it.
We are keeping that clip right there for other purposes down in the future. Like, do not delete that clip. We need that right there forever. Okay?
Also, I just want to bring up that they called back to the guy singing when somebody wins a pageant. That also happened in Scary Movie when Buffy wins. The guy who's the announcer of the pageant is singing a song too in the background. Much like exactly what's happening in that scene. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, what a funny callback just to bring back in another movie like years down the line. That's a parody. That's so clever.
Yeah. Oh man, that's so funny. I didn't even make that connection.
They're amazing at it. They're amazing at it. It's crazy.
Yeah, you can definitely see how he grew as a filmmaker as he went along. And just sort of like borrowed his old tricks, much like a lot of directors do that, like Steven Spielberg, James Cameron. It's like, oh, I didn't have the money to do it right 15 years ago. Now I do. But yeah, so that's your MVP. What was his name?
Superfly.
Superfly. Well, no, not Superfly. It was damn, what was it?
I forget his name.
I have it right here.
I forget his name. I just kept calling
Fly Guy.
Pimp.
Fly Guy. That's it.
I just kept calling him Pimp. But what's the dude's name? Because he's in
Antonio Fargas.
Yeah, Antonio Fargas is in a lot of blaxploitation films. He's got to be from LA with a name like Antonio Fargas.
Also, remember him? He was the old OG in Don't Be a Menace. He's the old OG.
Yeah.
Who's trying to tell him, how to live.
He might be from Pasadena. This motherfucker black got a name like that.
Isn't he Huggy Bear from?
He is. Yeah, he is Huggy Bear. Yeah.
He's Huggy Bear.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. He might be from like Pasadena, dog.
I think I read he was from New York because he's like half.
Well, yeah, those are
Puerto Rican or something like
that. A lot
that.
of black Dominicans and me no black.
Yeah.
Then later on, so in the movie, when Jack comes back from the military and finds out that his brother's dead,
Jack comes
and it's
back.
all
right.
It's all because of the evil Mr. Big and these two henchmen played by Damon Wayans and Kadeem Hardison, Willie and Leonard. They trying to put the squeeze on his mom, but it doesn't really work out in their favor.
You can either go out that window or take the stairs.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna take the stairs. Yeah, we'll take the stairs. Ow, get your hands on my face.
Shout out to those stunt guys. We always shout out stunt guys and gals. Shout out to those stunt guys.
Yeah,
that is hilarious. There's a couple of scenes in the stunt guys that I wasn't able to get, but like that scene where the mom has to fight him in the diner.
Oh, when she's a stunt person for like all the whole thing.
It's like 3 different stunt guys for one scene.
I got that.
Right there. Ain't nobody laying a finger on my baby. Mom!
Like clearly with a mustache, like clearly a guy with a mustache and a wig.
And not even a wig that matches. It's an Afro puff wig. It was like just a big ass Afro puff wig.
Oh, so funny.
For a white guy and some black guy first, and then a white guy afterwards.
And I did like how, because one of the things that these blaxploitation movies do, and I saw like a lot of reviews about this movie say similar things, is that like the female character, especially like the mom character of the main hero, is usually way more like demure and doesn't really affect the plot in any way, and they're just seen as like weak. And they completely turned that on its head in this movie, where his mom like comes in and she's basically fucking Omni-Man. Like she comes in and just like destroys everybody.
We missed at the beginning of that clip that you showed where she threw him down the stairs, where she had just got through whipping his ass. And what was his name? Damn, the actor. I can't remember his name. The one that she was whipping his ass.
Oh, Kadeem Hardison. Oh no, wait.
No.
It's Kadeem Hardison.
Oh yeah, it was Kadeem Hardison. Who was I thinking? It doesn't matter. I was thinking about the nigga from Cool Runnings.
Oh, yeah.
But never mind. That's a different. That's a whole other episode.
Different Black All Star. Yeah. But yeah, like I will say
she whooped his ass.
One of the things I did not like about this movie was, and I was like sort of disappointed by it, was Kadeem Hardison and Damon Wayans. Like something about their dynamic in these characters was really annoying to me. Like I hated how he just kept repeating everything that Damon Wayans said. It wasn't very it just wasn't funny to me. And it like, and after a while, when you realize that that's all that's going to be happening with these two, it just kind of got annoying, which annoys me because those guys are so funny. Like I would have loved to see them do something other than just that bit over
again.
And
it's
over.
Just cartoons that cuss. Like that's what the theme is, right? Like I remember that scene being very funny when I was a kid watching it, because I'm like, oh, that's funny because he's doing the thing. And like when you're a kid, you're not annoyed by it, but when you're an adult, you're like, that's it. Like that's all you're gonna fucking do. The fuck? Like do a trick, do something, say something. But he did nothing. Yeah.
Especially since these guys, like, they make me laugh so much and like every other thing that I've seen them in, but just something about these characters.
They're supposed to be, like he said, the cartoons, because they're supposed to be the wacky
henchmen, the wacky henchmen that does
I've been a bad boy.
Right.
You know, that kind of freaky type shit.
No, and I vibed off of that what like Damon was doing, but I think that what Kadeem just like his whole thing was just repeating everything that Damon said, and then Damon calling him stupid,
and also telling on himself.
Oh yeah.
He played really dumb really well. I mean, it's probably that there's nothing funny for him to do being really dumb. Like Damon's just carrying each scene.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. Something about
he does. I don't think Damon does a good enough job where that it works together for him. But neither one of them are really big actors at this time. So
yeah, that's true. Nobody really knew who either of them were for real, except unless you're black. But then as the movie,
unless you're really cool.
After Willie and Leonard get their asses kicked by Jack's mom, they go back to Mr. Big, and then Mr. Big is like,
Mr. Big,
God damn it, I want my $5,000, and I want my $5,000.
Listen here, you nigger, I want my $5,000 because Mr. Big is a white dude.
Yeah, that's true. Mr. Big, played by John Vernon, the great John Vernon. I like how they made it.
Always a white. Mr. Big is always a white. I mean, watch Sex in the City. He's always a white. No matter what the name is, no matter what the movie, if a guy's name's Mr. Big, he's a white.
He's a
That's just Thank you for that.
I like how they made a joke at the end. I like how they made a joke at the end where he was like, prestigious actors can be in exploitation movies too.
Yeah, so,
Jamie Lee Curtis.
What? I'm too good to be in a I'm too good to be in a blaxploitation film.
The line that got me was when he's like, what are your qualifications for being an exploitation? He's like, because I played football, and he's like,
yeah, Jim Brown was like,
all right, man. He's like, all right, you little motherfucker.
Again, I didn't get that as a kid, but when you find out, right, like Jim Brown played football, you're like, this is hilarious. This is a hilarious line right here.
And yeah, like it was interesting how they brought Isaac Hayes and Jim Brown in like as these characters of yesteryear, and what's his name? Bernie Casey as these like characters from yesteryear who were like obviously icons of those blaxploitation films just from being in a lot of them. But in this movie, they're like sort of old and retired, and he's trying to recruit them to his cause because he basically can't do it himself.
They're getting the band back together.
We're getting the band back together.
We're getting the band back together.
Son of a bitch.
On a mission from God.
I'm in. What did you think of the story of all this, Blake? Of just like it being sort of a getting the band back together kind of movie for a majority of the
Blues
time.
Brothers.
Yeah, it works together like a retired Black Avengers like movie, right? Like it works. Like it works, especially when you know the history of everything. It works even more. Like, yeah, it's a funny concept and they all work well together. But like when you know, like, oh, they were in these movies and like it was this time, and like it makes it so much more relevant. And when you have that context, it just adds so much more to where you can I think sort of appreciate the fact that they're all on screen together, and like everybody, again, it's like the band's back to it. Would be like if they like made some sort of a pop star movie, and then the point of the movie was like getting like, I don't know, like Backstreet Boys together, but like if somebody didn't know who Backstreet Boys was, it'd be funny. But then if you did know and grew up in the Backstreet Boys era, you're like, holy shit, they just got Brian and AJ in the same room. Are they going to Howie's house? Oh my God. This is gonna be crazy. Like, right? Like that has to be what it's like for people that grew up with like black exploitation films. Like you probably felt those vibes. You're like, holy shit, they're putting them, it's all these superheroes together, and something crazy is gonna happen. And then all of that to say, it diverts the whole thing when fucking Isaac Hayes slips on bullets and shoots himself, right? Like it's hilarious because you're like, man, they're really gonna do it. And they're like, oh God, they're down one already. And they just They haven't even done anything.
Yeah, and didn't Kung Fu Jones? He died right before that, right? Like,
yeah.
It was just like, hey, we just introduced 7 people. Let's kill 4 of them really quickly.
And then one of them gets incapacitated pretty early on into the mission when it all goes down. I'm gonna play a clip from that real quick.
I'll take this rope and rappel down the wall over there. Take one of these bombs I got, crash through the window, causing a diversion. You go through that window and slam her, go to that door.
How come I can't go through the window, man? I never get to go through the window no more.
Well, pardon fucking me then.
But he was okay. It turns out he was perfectly fine.
Again, cartoons that cuss, like that's the silliness of these things. Like you can get blown up, shot up, whatever. I mean, all 54 cops shot Kung Fu Joe, and he's still wobbling in the streets trying to call the homies. You know what I mean? Like, bro, like you
He
can't
got shot by
die.
like 60 guns. Who knows how many bullets are supposed to hit him? It's like 16, 17 guns shooting. Them motherfuckers should have shot themselves on accident.
Right.
So
I just thought about that. I'm like, no, if you're across the way, somebody's gonna get crossfire. You know what I mean?
You haven't thought about this.
But yeah, it's the silliness of this movie, right? Like all these heroes are gathered, but then it's built up, and then each one falls on like a Lego or something, and you're like, bro, what? Like this is stupid.
And I think like though narratively it does.
And then a grandmother comes in and whoops people's ass.
I think narratively though it does help with like our main character Jack taking it upon himself to become the hero that he wants to be, because all these other heroes that he recruited are being incapacitated. Even his mom, who comes in and helps him all the time, he locks her in the storage closet or whatever. So he kind of ends up having to embrace that hero role.
He even gets help from his mama. It's Jack something, whatever his name was.
Jack Slade.
It's Jack Slade.
No, Jack Spade.
No, Spade.
John
Slade.
Okay. That's
together they was Spade and Slade and Spade.
I actually like how their names are just like so close together. Just like name.
I bet you that was the name of the movie first.
Oh, what?
And I bet you that was what Eddie Murphy suggested. Jack Spade and John Slade.
You know what? It's funny that you say that because
I'm hilarious.
That's why it's funny.
You know what? Actually, we'll get.
I said it. That's why it's funny.
No, actually, I want to bring it up now because like there was a television pilot idea.
Hammer Slammer and Slade or Spade or whatever.
Yeah, Hammer Slammer and Slade. They were gonna bring back Isaac Hayes, Jim Brown, and Bernie Casey in 1990 to do a TV show based on their characters from the movie. Now, Keenan Ivory Wayans wasn't gonna reprise his role. They were gonna recast his character and Damon's character and Kadim's character from the show
on TV.
Yeah, it was gonna be a TV show.
Yeah, no, I'm glad it didn't happen.
Yeah,
that would have been bad.
Yeah, because some of the
if it had been a movie,
yeah, or if it was like an Adult Swim cartoon, that would have been.
Oh man,
that would have been great.
Because they do black people dirty on these Adult Swim cartoons.
But if it was produced by Keenan,
well, back then,
yeah, back then, yeah.
I mean, the concept of it is just ahead of its time. Like we're ready for it now.
Right.
Too bad fucking Isaac Hayes is dead, and is anybody else of them that dead? Oh yeah, Bernie Casey's dead too, right?
I think Bernie Casey is dead.
Jim Brown's dead. Everybody dead.
Yeah, they're all dead.
Except, well, that's why Keenan got him in the movie, man. Shit.
Yeah.
They were no young bucks back then. Yeah, everybody ain't gonna be alive forever. John Witherspoon's in the movie.
Man, rest in peace.
But one interesting thing about it, because the pilot was the pilot.
One thing that's not depressing about the movie.
The pilot was shot and it was produced by Keenan Ivory Wayans. It was written by him, but it was directed by somebody else, and
a black person.
And Martin Lawrence was actually going to be playing the role of Kadeem Hardison's character in this show.
I wonder when did Martin start?
I do not know. I think it was like 1992.
So they
So this would've
probably
been
were
before
trying
that.
to give him a show and, you know, shopping around shows to give Martin. And that's probably more so what happened other than him actually trying out for or auditioning for that show or whatever.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I think that it was like kind of ahead of its time. Like Adult Swim didn't even exist back then, but I think it would have worked really well as just like one of those irreverent with cartoons on Adult Swim.
I just want to take this time to say, please like and subscribe if you're having fun so far.
Please.
We just had like 12 subscribers right now. So I just want to say shout out to y'all because y'all be out here really touching a nigga's heart.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. Touching and yeah, like and this was I don't know, like I feel like this kind of silly comedy has become even more popular nowadays. So I think
what you mean, where is that at?
Just
where they do that at?
It's like how Black Dynamite was like really popular, and then
That
like
was-
the Black Dynamite cartoon.
Black Dynamite cartoon was damn near 12 years ago. Well, it was 12 years ago. And the
more recently than fucking 1988 is what I'm saying. Like I feel like just go back into the fact that this was ahead of
I
its
just
time.
feel like it's just a Blue Moon type of thing where it happens.
I hear what Alex is saying, but Bill, I hear what you're saying, and I smell it, and I'm tasting it, and what I'm hearing and putting together is we just need to make us a little blaxploitation parody movie. I just think that's probably the next evolution.
And Donald Trump could be the villain of our movie.
A lot of people they're saying we can put together the dream team of all the Mexicans, all the blacks. We can put them together.
I've heard people are saying that we could get a dream team of people who aren't black.
They have Mexican Avengers. They have Black Avengers. We're putting them together. United we stand. Sometimes
they could do it, man. We could do it. We could have in Black Dynamite, Tricky Dick was the villain, right?
Right. Yeah.
So you could just do it like Trump's the villain. Like what? At the end, he's like selling dope to the community and like, I don't know, laundering money or something. Right.
Making
people's peepees little, making black people's peepees little.
And then the line has to end with, "They should have never given the black jobs away," and that's how it ends. And you're just like, "All right, that's
yeah." It's like, all right,
for no good reason either.
And sometimes all it takes is a really good idea and just brainstorming with friends
and having about $15,000 to $20,000.
Right. Case in point, Eddie Murphy is the one who suggested the concept of a blaxploitation parody and its title. And then once Wayans earned enough credibility to have his film picked up by a studio after his role in Hollywood Shuffle, he got a budget for $3 million, and then Wayne filmed his debut feature film in 32 days. Grossed about $13 million.
Similar to what happened with Drinking Juice in the Hood, because Damon and Marlon had written while Drinking Juice in the Hood and went to it was a completely different movie. They went to the studio with the script and they were like, "This is dog shit." And Keenan was like, "Well, let me just talk to y'all for a second," and then he sent them out of the room. Keenan's talking to him. He comes back. He's like, "I got you $3 million to do the movie."
Mm-hmm.
And they were only going to give him like $1 million before. He's like, or like a few $100,000. He was like, "Got you $3 million to do the movie." And he said, "Only thing is you got to have the movie done in 2 weeks." And they were like, "What?" He's like, "Well, you gonna help us?" He was like, "Hell no, y'all gonna write this fucking script." He's like, "You gotta write a whole new fucking movie." He's like, "I'll help you do everything else, but y'all gotta write this fucking script." And he's like, "Well, what you're not gonna help us?" He said, "I just did help you. I got you $3 million. So I just helped you. Yeah. I got you $3 million to make a movie. They're gonna make a movie."
God damn. And one thing that I've heard as far as Don't Be a Menace, which is again a future does a hold up episode, I'm sure. one of the complaints about this film, we just heard Roger Ebert say this, is how he feels like it's more playing off of the stereotypes of Black people rather than making fun of how other people play off the stereotypes of Black people. Like, do you guys think that this film is doing more harm than good in that sense? Like, watching it so many years after the fact. Bill, do you want to go first?
Nah, man. It's just like
I thought you were saying
everything
no,
can't
go first.
Everything can't be do the right thing. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Some things just gotta be funny without a message.
Yeah.
Message.
Message. I need to have him as a drop too.
Message.
I was doing that when I did the murder mysteries. Like, if I had something to say, and I'm like, you got to pay attention, and I would put like message, and I had white people in the comments being like, "What is?" They would be like, "What does that even mean?" And I'm like, oh, "This ain't for you. This ain't for you, Mr. White Man. This ain't for you."
You should just put in that comment. Message. That's what needs to be said in that comment. Just
I love what you just said. Right, not everything can be do the right thing, but also like you can still have like clear like messages delivered in a funny way in these movies, and I think that's what it says, right? Highlight the white Mexican in here to talk about Black comedy. Yeah, right. I am 2%. I am 2%. So I have 2% of an answer is probably what's going to happen.
No, we making sure you look in case you go say something wrong. In case you say something crazy.
It's on me. In that case, let me switch to. Let me tell you about don't be a menace to society. Infowars.com. But you could still have a message. I think you could still get like, oh, that's I see what they're saying. Like, right, like clearly the message is not about like gold. It's not, you're not OGing, right? It's a reference to ODing, right? Like clearly you get a little message through it, but you get it delivered in you know what it's like? It's like when you give kids the Flintstone vitamins. You know, kids don't like to swallow pills, but you give it to them in a Flintstone vitamin, they get all their nutrients, and it's a fun way. That's what this is. That's all these movies are. Like,
I do right now.
All your nutrients in a fun way. Yeah, I still take Flintstones. I'm a growing boy. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And like I think that's what the point of this is. It's like, yeah, you want to say something, you can do it. It's there between the lines, but like, let's laugh about it, right? Like, let's just like have a laugh. We don't have to have some sort of heartbreaking Ricky moment, like from Boys in the Hood, like right. Like we can still have fun with this while doing a thing, while like having all this comedy over here, these bits, these skits. We can still do all that and still be like, you get what we're saying, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think that you guys like have a great point, because like I feel like if this movie was just like a straight up action movie, then like maybe you could have you could maybe look at it that the film has a different sort of point of view, or is just try to do what other films before it was doing, rather than try to poke fun at it. But right at the top, it's very silly and showing like this meta joke. The first text that comes up is any ghetto USA. Like, they don't even say what city or state it is. It's like,
definitely
hey, man, LA. So like it's very tongue in cheek from the beginning. So I think that this film knows what kind of movie it is from the jump, and it's all the better for it.
I mean,
sometimes people just get uncomfortable when they see shit like that. I'm sure like a lot of people felt uncomfortable when Chappelle's Show came out, because this kind of has that same sort of vibe of just like poking fun at certain racial things that make people uncomfortable. But even in Don't Be a Menace, they're in the police station.
Mm-hmm. I think they're in the police station, and they have a video game, and it's called Rodney King's Beatdown, and it's all about police like beating up Rodney King.
Right. Oh yeah.
Like that's not funny. Like Rodney King, that's a very serious thing. But the fact that like these guys are like, you know what's funny though? The cops probably have something like they're they're making fun of the fact that like cops fucking did this, so like that sort of humor, it's very much like what Atlanta does, right? Where you're like, you have these little bits and things that are flipped on their head, transracialism and yada yada.
Trans, we don't do trans around there, boy.
It's fucking hilarious, but like it's got a point behind it as to like, you're like, I get why they did that. That's clever. That's very clever. Like without beating me over the head when being like, hey, like here's this point, like understand it, like no, we can do this with some, with some light fluff around it.
Yeah. Oh, light fluff. That sounds nasty.
They start fucking, it was gross.
I was just gonna say I had some light fluff on my cheesecake. I went to Cheesecake Factory and had some little light fluff on that. Yeah, and then that came on. It was like, that sounds nasty, and I'm like, that's absolutely right, and I enjoyed it.
That's right.
These are all euphemisms, man. I got dirty on my lunch break.
Nasty.
I feel like we could probably talk about this movie for another 2 hours.
Did we not use anything?
No, we used everything.
Do we have a clip of Chris Rock in here? Because this movie stars like everyone.
Oh man, I sent it to you. Did you clip it?
There's only so much time to get everything together. I didn't have enough time to get everything.
I'm just saying. I know I sent it to you. He asked. I'm just asking.
Can we add it in post? Can we add it in post?
That's one that we use already. That's the window.
We used all of them already.
We used all of them.
Cool.
Wait.
I'm just making sure there ain't one not getting used. Should all his work got put in. All these bitches get used.
Can we add it in post? Can we do that right now? Can we drop the clip? Here, take a look at this clip,
ladies. Future Alex would rather not have to do that.
Oh no, that'll be the clip that you use at the beginning.
Okay.
The one reel. You don't watch this. You clearly didn't watch this episode yet, Blake, because it's at the beginning.
I've never seen this episode in my life.
It's at the beginning.
But it's probably around about that time where we ask the titular question.
What are we asking?
What are we saying?
Does it hold?
That's right. At the end of every episode, we vote to see. Oh yeah, you should just do one armor next time. At the end of every episode, we vote on whether this film is as good or as bad as we remember, or if it stands the test of time.
And we may do a drunk. And Money Blakeweather, since you are our esteemed guest, we'll let you go first. Steaming.
Lots of steam. People are saying there's not enough steam. I told them under my administration, so much steam. The best steam. We told them. I don't know who he's telling all the time or who's talking to him. Honestly, like a lot of people. Who are all these people? I feel like Jerry Seinfeld right now. What's the deal with all these people?
Who are the president's men?
Who are all these guys? Where's the steam? Had to do that. This movie does hold up. It's just long and short of it, and it's mostly short. The movie holds up. It holds up quite well, and I'm so glad that the fans have a higher rating of it than the critics, because critics just don't be knowing a lot of time, especially when there's movies like this that I think touch on taboo or stereotypes of like certain cultures and stuff like that. That's not white people. Like, let it be Asian, let it be black, let it be Mexican, let it be anything other than white people, and all of a sudden. All of a sudden my shit goes out of focus. That's what happens. That's weird.
Go into the light.
Back me out, Scotty.
Go into the light.
Yeah, there we go. Back me out so I don't look so horrible. But yeah, the movie holds up, and unlike my camera, and it's well worth the watch if you've never seen it, and if you haven't seen it and you're watching this right now. What are you doing? Like, don't watch us, watch the movie, and then come back and watch us, and then we'll make you laugh.
You've run afoul of critics. Now you've run afoul of the views. There it is. It's coming back there. I think.
No, critics generally don't know what they're talking about. So
no, they don't.
We are critics, y'all.
I know.
I don't know about them. I know
stand by that
I
statement.
know what I'll be talking about, y'all.
But I guess
there are
we
a lot
should...
of messages in the group chat.
I'm glad I'm not
my balls keep vibrating a lot.
Oh no, that's something else. You should get that checked.
A new thing. Well,
that's called herpes, I think.
In that case, there's no need to go anywhere. I quite enjoy it.
Oh dear.
Oh yes.
Oh dear. I guess we should also ask.
Actually, am enjoying the vibration.
Oh, there we go. I'm back. Okay. Let me wrap up my point real quick. Oh, press a button.
Yeah, we're the kings of filler, baby.
All my camera needed was a black guy with a deep voice to just talk sweet. Very fitting. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it, Daddy. Keep doing it. But yeah, this movie holds up so well. There's so many memorable moments, bits. If you watch this movie, you're gonna find your own favorite. Whether it's the Black Revolutionary guy, whether it's the Chris Rock ribs bit, whether it's Hammer and Slammer, just them talking in the car. Like it's just there's something for everybody in this movie, and you will if you've never seen it and you love scary movie, you love Don't Be a Menace, you'll love this movie. And if I'm saying that as if you didn't watch this movie and you're watching this, what am I saying? You already know. So yeah, go ahead and rewatch this. Like
Othelius probably doesn't know. Othelius probably doesn't know.
Oh, okay.
I feel like Othelius, he's so young sometimes, like he's at the age, I ain't gonna say he's so young, but he's at the age where I don't think he's seen some of these movies. And some of these times, sometimes we be putting him on. He's like, oh shit, I ain't never seen this. I gotta watch it since y'all make it sound like XXXXX. It's usually some says nigga in there and goddamn or something. Like put some of those words in there plus the movie. Yeah, he's good on that. Yeah,
I don't have to watch that.
Yeah.
Nigga goddamn it from 1978.
Oh man, nigga goddamn it.
So
starring Bill Cosby, Sidney Poitier,
written by Paul Mooney.
I want to see this movie.
Number one movie in 1976. It's nigga goddamn it.
The trailer is just Bill Cosby going, nigga goddamn it, that's my woman.
I'm gonna tell you something, nigga goddamn it, that's my woman. Oh man.
Starring Kurt Douglas, and you're like, ooh,
oh damn.
Oh god.
It's like that line from Django where Leonardo DiCaprio was like, at first you have my intrigue, but now you have my attention.
Also starring Lena Horne.
Raquel Welch, right? You're like, ooh, this is gonna be a good one.
Okay, so we have to ask a question, which I think I know what the answer is going to be, but it is
also starring Don Dot.
Well, Andy,
I want to see this movie so bad. Nigga, goddamn it, coming to your theaters in 1979.
Also, Robin Harris, who was also in this movie.
Yeah, he was. We should ask the question.
Jesus.
Does it? Oh gosh! I guess
starring Arsenio Hall.
So I guess I should answer.
It's yours. Yeah, it's all you.
Your move.
So yeah, like Roger Ebert is right. It's not like super.
Breathe.
Our next picture is called "I'm Gonna Get You Sucka," which tries to parody the old blaxploitation films of the 1970s.
Thumbs down for me. It doesn't have anything.
Yeah,
so you feel like thumbs down for you. Well, I just want people to remember what he said.
Let me finish my sentence. But yeah, like I do feel like Roger Ebert is right in the fact that this film is not trying to reinvent the wheel when it comes to pointing a finger at the fun parts and the bad parts about blaxploitation films, and like it's not paving any like new ground, especially like in the wake of Hollywood Shuffle, which also like pointed a lot of fingers at the problems in black representation in film, and it's not making this big bombastic statement, but I have to ask,
do we care? Are we caring about that?
Like, is that the big point of this movie, that we're trying to revolutionize film, or are we just like trying to make people laugh? And I think that this does a really good job of making people laugh, and I think it also is like really.
Did you say it holds up? Or?
Yeah, I'm getting to it.
Usually we say it first, then I was just trying. I didn't know if you said it.
He's giving his award speech. I want to hear this. I'm hearing this. All right, let's see.
I couldn't remember. I just was like, did he say it? I don't remember if he said it.
But yeah, it does. It does hold up. Yeah, and I feel like this film is doing everything that it's trying to do. But yeah, I guess there's only one more question to ask.
No, because we forgot to talk about does it hold?
Actually got me on that one.
That was good. That was good.
Praise me. No.
All right. Billiam.
Oh, that's so weird that we said that.
I was trying to think of it. Billiam, what do you does this movie hold up for you? What do you think?
Man, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to say it doesn't hold up. Only reason is because for what Alex was saying, like, what are they trying to do here? Blah 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 blah. They were trying to bring for the people of that time period, I'm bringing and taking and paying homage to the people who came before me and like inspired me to make movies, be funny, like because of the cheap nature and ridiculous nature of certain blaxploitation films. It inspired him to do shit that was funny and black. Right. Mm-hmm. But today, don't nobody give a shit about none of that shit. So it would be hard for me to think that this movie would be able to hold up. The Outlaw Johnny Black just came out. Did nobody see it? I liked it. Did nobody watch it? Ain't nobody watching it. I loved it.
Yeah.
And I love this movie. But that don't necessarily mean that the movie gonna hold up.
Right.
So I'm gonna have to say no. People don't give a shit about nothing no more. So why would they care about this movie being like a nostalgic? I'm gonna bring back the heroes of old.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is the Black Expendables.
Yeah.
And it's like it did okay at the theaters, but it didn't do great.
Yeah, it wasn't a huge hit. It was a success.
Here's what I have to say to that.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
Exactly, man. Exactly. So I'm just gonna have to go with that, And
fair enough.
To be fair, it's just
I did not expect a Letterkenny reference. Gonna check that off on my 2025 bingo. Being on a dozen. Check it off the board.
Yeah.
Right.
Life bingo is amazing. Play it.
Next time I see my son, I'm gonna be like, son, I was on Does It Hold? He doesn't understand, but I was on Does It Hold Up, and they did a Letterkenny reference. You won't get it, but it was funny. Dear Diary. I had a
diary. We told his grandkids. We're back in 1920 taking a trip.
Dear Diary. Alex threw a Letterkenny quote, and I laughed my ass off. Today was a great day. Yeah.
Man, yeah, but yeah, it's to be fair, it's my criticism is the time period that it came in and the lack of people giving a shit about shit today. It's more so that people are too stupid for this movie to be holding up. Does that make sense?
No,
in 10 years, ask me again. Ask me again in 10 years and see where we can get with it. Because if people are dumb, sometimes that can affect whether or not a movie holds up to its standards.
Yeah, comedy is interesting. It's all about how people perceive it. And comedy doesn't age as well as like dramas because it is highly
like they made a joke that you were like, what was that? What is that?
Oh yeah, everybody was talking about like asking if they were Norway salesmen.
I had to look up the Norway. They basically were trying to say they're Amway, but they couldn't say it. During the 80s and 70s, like apparently a lot of people sold Amway products. It was like a big thing. It was like a big thing, and they were trying to get people. It was like an original, pyramid scheme. And once it hit sort of these urban areas, right, like black people, Mexican people, like all of a sudden everybody's asking you, hey, do you want to buy some Amway products? Like they would try to come meet people just to sell Amway products, but I don't think they got clearance to use the Amway name. So they were saying, no way, right? You're not selling no way products, right? So I had to look that up because I was confused. I was thrown off. I was like, I'm reading the subtitles and I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about? Like, that's kind of funny, but like, I don't know what you're saying. So yeah, kind of my head went right over to those lights behind me. You know what I mean?
Thanks for all of the like day ones, please send in your the more you know moment. Send in the more you know. Record your own. Send it to the Drunk Banthas channel at gmail.com. And I will send you a t-shirt for the best one, and we'll play all of them on here. And also, it'll probably only be 2 of you because only 3 of you are going to watch this. So, and one of you is going to watch this long. So.
I want to do something real quick. I want you to queue up the more you know, but you're going to know when to hit it, or I'll just point to you. Right. For those that don't know, I've been trying to dabble my hand in stand-up comedy. I've been writing bits. Right. I'm being trained currently by a regional and Austin comedian named KirstYn. Everybody go look him up. He's incredible. He's amazing. Been on Kill Tony numerous of times, released a number of specials, even recorded one at the Paramount Theater here in Austin, which it's sort of a big deal. But I wrote a little bit for him, and I just point to you when I'm done with it. Let me find. Here it is. You ever date a girl who's a hoe, and her sister's a hoe, her mama, her grandmama, whole family tree full of hoes, and you find out it's because they're Korean?
Well done.
I've got hoes in different area codes.
Thank you. That's my first comedy bit I've ever done.
You should just start singing that afterwards. That's a punch up for you. You should start singing. I've got hoes.
I'm gonna add that actually.
Well, like any smart comedian, I know when not to follow a killer performance. I'm gonna leave that as our ending of the show.
A lot of in-laws.
But Money, where can the people find you on the interwebs?
Yeah, you can find me, Money Blakeweather, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, anywhere the kids are hanging out. I was going to say I'm hanging out there, but I just realized what I said, and I don't want to hang out where the kids are at. That sounds weird. Even though this year started off with... even though this year started off with my new apartment complex that I moved into, quick story, there were kids, high school kids, partying at the end of my driveway in my new apartment building. How did I know they were high school kids? Because they were fucking high school kids. Like they looked all like TikToker kids, and it was 200 of them. They looked like little roaches, and they're just outside just partying and drinking. And yeah, it's fucking weird. I don't want to hang out with the kids. I complained to my apartment, and then I told people that I complained, and they're like, "Oh, you're that old guy now." And I'm like, "Fuck you." Yes, I am.
Get off my lawn, guy.
Yeah, I'm like, you go party. You can party all you want, but not up in here. Not up in here. But yeah, you can find me on all the social medias. St. Louis rolling on the. Again, I was here for the karaoke. What we call a callback in the industry.
Finally, we got to the karaoke.
All this whole time, there's been no fucking music. But yeah, you can find me, Money Blakeweather, all the fun places. Nerds at Night released Scream 3 back in December. Released another video for unconventional rom-coms. And I'll continue to be doing murder mysteries, slasher ones. And yeah, just look out for those. Nerds at Night. You can find me there. Or you can find me here occasionally. I just kind of pop in whenever they need like a token black guy. You know what I mean? I'm just like, hey, like 2% like the milk I drink. You know what I mean?
Hey, sometimes you just got to pop off and show niggas. You know, that's what a wise man once said.
You do got to pop off and show off to the N-words, friends.
Sometimes that's what, you know what I like that.
You know,
people should start saying it. White people should start saying that. Have you ever been hanging out with some N-words and then one of them N-words say some crazy shit? You know what I'm saying?
What about N-word?
In the words of Theo Vaughn, like he said, he's like, when I want to say it, I just write it down. You know what I mean? And then I get it out of my system.
Motherfucker got a notebook. This thick.
Oh, I do call it my nigga book.
When I'm at home, I ask my kid, I say, hey, go in the closet and grab my nigga book.
It's not the alternate version of the Notebook, just it has black people in it. Is
that... See, I was hanging out with a bunch of N-words today.
Now still starring Ryan Gosling.
Oh, this should be the cold open, and nobody will know what the fuck we're talking about. They'll be like, "Where are they going with this one?"
Stay tuned. Keep it right here. But yeah, that is it from me. Nerds at Night, Money Blakeweather on all the social mediums. Let's kick it back to y'all. Where can people? Hey, honestly, where can people find you guys?
Billiam, where can people find you on there?
You can find me every Thursday at 8:15 Pacific time. 8:15 p.m. Pacific time every Thursday, right here on Nerds at Night. Oh, I guess this is Drunk Panthers, but right here on the Drunk Panthers channel and over at Nerds at Night. This is going to be on Drunk Panthers. I mean, on Nerds at Night at some point in time. We'll get it going over there. But you can also find me every Monday on the Drunk Panthers podcast, Nerds at Night channel and Drunk Panthers channel every Monday at 8:15 Pacific time, 8:15 p.m. Pacific time.
Or
your favorite late show.
We love it. Or white people, if you say the N-word 3 times in the mirror, Bill will show up and slap the shit out of you. So it's an actual thing that happens.
You gotta cut the lights off, then cut them back on, and I'll be there right behind you.
Yeah.
Just look over your shoulder.
I'll be
yes. White people look inward and say the N-word. That is it for our show. Thank you for watching. New episodes drop every other Monday at 4:20. Check us out on all every other Wednesday at 4:20. I need to change the script. Anyway, check us out on all social media platforms at The Drunk Panthers. Please like and subscribe. It's not required, but if you don't, you will not be invited to the cookout. We'll see you guys we'll see you guys in a couple of weeks. Happy Black History Month, and take care.
Peace. I'll see you Thursday. Bye.
Bye.